At some point, birthdays begin to feel different. You still blow out the candles, but somewhere in your mind, you start doing math. How many good years are left? It sounds like a question about time. It isn't. Two people can be the same age, face the same limitations, and somehow live as if they have been given completely different amounts of life. One begins to shrink his world. The other becomes freer. Not because he is younger, not because he is healthier. Something else separates them. And the same hidden difference changes the way we experience death. Most people spend years fearing what they think aging will take from them. But there is something far easier to lose, and we often give it away ourselves. Why does time speed up as you get older? Remember how long summer felt when you were 10? Now Christmas sometimes seems to arrive every 6 months. The clock did not speed up. So what did? Part of the answer may be hiding in memory. Think back to the last 5 years. Do not count them. Try to see them. Which moments appear first? A wedding, a loss, a new place, a conversation you still remember word for word. Now notice what is missing. Hundreds of ordinary Tuesdays. They happened. You lived every one of them. But memory did not give each one its own room. When fewer moments stand apart, months begin to blur together. Curiosity gives memory something to keep. You do not need to climb Everest or buy a motorcycle at 70. Your family does not need that kind of excitement. Curiosity does not require money, travel, or a younger body. Take the other street. Ask the question. Learn the ridiculous little thing you somehow never learned. Give the brain a reason to wake up and say, well, that was new. Not because novelty makes you younger, because something subtle happens when we stop being curious. We stop trying the unfamiliar. Eventually, we stop even considering it. Nothing has locked the door. We simply stop reaching for the handle. That may be one of the quietest ways a person grows old in the mind. Not when the body slows down, when the world starts getting smaller before it has to. You may never experience every first the way you did at 20, but you can still leave room to be surprised. Your younger self is cheating. Mark wanted his old life back. For about 10 seconds. He was looking at a photograph of himself at 45. He was standing beside a car, thinner, darker hair, smiling straight at the camera. Then he remembered what happened 10 minutes after the picture was taken. He and his wife argued in the car. His business was struggling, and for months he had been waking at 3 in the morning, wondering how he would pay the bills. None of that appeared in the photograph. There was only the smile. Mark looked at it again and laughed. He did not want his old life back. He wanted the photograph. And photographs are very good at this. They keep the hair and lose the headache. They keep the vacation and lose the argument in the hotel room. They keep the birthday cake and lose whatever you were worried about while everyone was singing. Try it with one of your own favorite photographs. Look just outside the frame. What was happening that week that the camera could not see? And we do this too. We compare today's full reality with yesterday's highlight reel. The past gets edited. The present has to arrive uncut. Yesterday gets a photo album. Today gets the electricity bill. And let's not romanticize this. Your younger self did have things you may genuinely miss. But youth came as a package. You had more energy, yes. You also lost sleep over things that barely disturb you now. Would Mark take his younger body back? Probably. Would he take back every fear he had already outgrown? That is a different deal. Maybe you do not miss being 40 as much as you think. Maybe you miss the version of 40 that memory created afterward. If you could revisit one age for a single day, what age would you choose? The freedom nobody tells you about. One unexpected privilege of getting older is becoming harder to embarrass. Not because people stop judging you, but because you finally notice how quickly they forget. At 30, one careless comment can follow you home. You replay it in the shower. You rewrite your answer in bed. By morning, the other person has probably forgotten the conversation entirely. That is the joke. Most people were never thinking about you as much as you feared. They were busy wondering what you thought about them. And once you truly see that, something loosens. You discover that being misunderstood is survivable. Someone can dislike your choices and breakfast still tastes exactly the same. The eggs remain completely unaffected. Nobody has called a press conference about your questionable decision. Age simply gives you enough evidence to finally believe it. You have watched enough opinions come and go to stop treating each one like a verdict. Can you come? No, not tonight. The earth keeps turning. Whether they like your answer or not simply does not matter as much anymore. You have lived through enough judgment to know it passes. Now you simply say, no. You enjoy what genuinely interests you. You leave the dinner early without inventing a fake emergency, not out of bitterness, simply because your remaining energy has become too valuable to spend performing for an audience. The freedom to disappoint someone and remain completely at peace. But do not confuse freedom with becoming impossible to live with. You can stop needing approval without stopping caring how you affect people. You are not becoming colder. You are simply becoming harder to control with disapproval. That is one freedom youth rarely knows it is missing. If this is putting words to something you have felt but never quite named, leave a like. It helps us know which conversations are worth continuing.
When does a person actually start feeling old?
When you were younger, did you ever laugh at how cautious your father had become? That's too far. I'm too old for this. Oh, come on, Dad, you can handle it. Then 30 years pass, and one day you hear yourself saying the same thing to your own son. I'm getting too old for this. That sentence sounds strangely familiar. Your knee hurts, so you shorten the walk. Your vision changes, so you wear glasses and drive a little slower. You may even have a chronic condition or two to manage. Those changes are real, but be careful when "I need to do this differently" becomes "this is no longer for me." One is an adjustment. The other can quietly make your world smaller. You do not need to compete with your younger self. Life does not have to be physically demanding to stay enjoyable. There are still 100 things worth doing. Grow something in the garden. Try a new recipe. Play chess with the guys next door. Read your grandchild a story. You do not have to prove that you are still young to keep enjoying your life. So the next time you hear yourself say, "I'm too old for this," ask yourself, do I really need to stop, or do I just need to do it differently? Would another 30 years actually be enough? Imagine someone offered you another 30 years. You would probably say yes before the sentence was finished. 30 more summers, 30 more birthdays, 30 more New Years. Deal? Not so fast. Now the harder question, what do you want them for? Suppose those 30 years looked exactly like last Tuesday. Same breakfast, same complaints, same password you still cannot remember. 30 years of perfectly ordinary mornings. No disaster, no great adventure. Still want the deal? Probably. Fair enough, so let's change one number, not 30, 300. At first it sounds like winning, then start subtracting. The friends who knew you young are gone. One day you mention an old joke, then realize there is nobody left in the room who knows why it was funny. Even the places where those memories happened have changed beyond recognition. You keep gaining years while losing the people who made those years feel like home. Suddenly, more time does not sound like such a simple prize. Would I turn down another 30 good years? Of course not. The mistake is assuming that more automatically means better. More days is arithmetic. More life is something else.
Why does an ending make things more beautiful?
After 27 years in the same house, Michael was spending his last evening there. The rooms were almost empty. As he walked through the kitchen, he noticed a scratch beside the doorway. Years earlier, his son had made it, dragging a chair across the floor. Michael had complained about that scratch for days. Now he stood there touching it, strangely hoping the new owners would never repair it. Nothing about the mark had changed. For years, it had been damaged. That evening, it became a memory. Funny how the things we once wanted fixed can become the things we hope nobody touches. Then he began noticing other things. The spot where his wife always drank her coffee, the kitchen cabinet that never quite closed properly. Things he had walked past for years suddenly felt worth remembering. Marcus Aurelius gave himself a stark reminder. You could leave life right now. Not to stare at death, to look more carefully at life. Because most ordinary things do not announce when you are doing them for the last time. A meal tastes different when you know it is the last night of a journey. A conversation feels different when someone you love is leaving tomorrow. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, maybe send this to them. The ending did not create the value, it made you notice it. Which leaves one uncomfortable question. What are we really afraid of? Here is the question everything so far has been circling. What are we actually afraid of when we say we fear death? Thomas was 69 when someone asked him, if you knew you had 5 good years left, what would you regret? He expected his answer to be something dramatic, a trip he never took, a dream he never chased. Instead, he remembered one afternoon on vacation with his daughter. She had called, "Dad, look!" Thomas was reading something on his phone. 1 second. He could not remember what had been so important on that screen, but years later he could still remember her saying, "Dad, look!" The thing that stole his attention had disappeared. The moment he gave away had not. Thomas went quiet. Then he said, "I don't think I'm afraid of having too little time." He looked down at the table. "I'm afraid I've already been absent from too much of it." What matters is whether you were there for it while it was happening. Maybe we were never simply afraid of getting old. Maybe we were afraid life would disappear before we had fully been there for it. And that can happen long before death. Tomorrow morning, life will begin again in very ordinary ways. Light through a window, a familiar voice, the first sip of something warm. Nothing dramatic. And maybe that is what makes it easy to miss. There are still conversations you have never had, songs you have never heard, things you have not laughed at yet. So you do not need to wake up tomorrow trying to feel younger. Just stay curious enough to notice what is still arriving. If you would like to keep exploring questions like these, subscribe to Move or Die Stoic. There is always another conversation waiting here. Until then, see what tomorrow brings.